Inflation and what's happened to prices at the grocery store. Joining us now is Sylvain Charlebois, Senior Director at the Argi-Food Analytics Lab at Dalhousie University. Sylvain, great for you to be with us. So overall, gas prices affecting overall inflation, but food prices, we understand, up close to 5% for the month of January. Take us through where we're seeing the biggest increases.
Yeah, absolutely. So food inflation is up to 7.3%. Food bought in stores, I believe, at 5.4%, still quite high. If you compare Canada's food inflation rate, it's above any other G7 countries right now. Even if the GST holiday didn't happen last year, our food inflation rate would be at around 6.2, 6.3%, which would still be the highest amongst G7 countries. So you can see that really our food inflation problem is very much structural, not cyclical or temporary, but structural. And that's really the big challenge here.
So explain that for viewers and explain that for people too, at least right now, so they have an understanding, at least from your view, about what those structural changes are and why it is structural, not otherwise.
Well, interprovincial trade barriers that limits competition across the country. If you look at the data coming out of the Atlantic, for example, where I am, some food inflation rates are above 9%, whereas in Quebec and Ontario, where you are, it's actually below 6%, much more reasonable. Still high, but much more reasonable. So you can see that really Canada is unable to elevate commerce within its own borders. The industrial carbon tax as well is a big problem. Logistics, all these things are just making things much more difficult. Counter tariffs, last year counter tariffs really made inflation a worse problem, which was confirmed by the Bank of Canada 2 weeks ago. And of course, the GST holiday. The GST holiday really created this inflation phenomena beyond the taking away of the tax, just because essentially you have companies looking for margins, looking for growth, and so they've actually increased prices regardless.
Yeah, I saw the restaurant meal prices up 12.3% too for the month of January because of that.
That's way more than 5%.
Right. Is there any relief in sight, do you believe, or until some of those structural changes are made that people are going to continue to pay a lot at the grocery store?
So we are expecting the February rate to be lower, but we are expecting numbers to remain quite high for the remainder of the year, unfortunately, above 4.5% for sure. And that's due to meat, nuts. A lot of products at the middle of the store will be more expensive as well. The good news, if you want a couple of good news, eggs are actually cheaper than last year, and also fresh fruits, but vegetables are rising. Vegetables are likely to become more expensive this year.
Okay, again, I think people will take some good news. It's better than none. Sylvain Charlebois, Senior Director at the Argi-Food Analytics Lab at Dalhousie University. Thanks for your time today, sir. Appreciate this.
Take care.